Nya. A return of the spooky month. A spooky-based return is what's happening currently. And that's why we're playing... actually, I don't know how to pronounce this. Maybe I should ask H.P. Lovecraft himself. I don't know if he would appreciate it. I'm pretty sure he was on record of being like so extremely racist. He like... No, was it him or was his grandmother? One of them like really like found out they were part Welsh and then went mental. It just had a real wobbly. Just like simmer it down to like a mild children's tantrum. They had a wobbly because they... So I don't know how if they'd appreciate the whole, you know, me asking about how to pronounce Dagon. Dagon? Dagon. Dagon atin, man. Dagon atin. Dagon atin, man. Dagon atin. No. Dagon? Dagon sounds like probably the worst way to pronounce it though, I feel. Dagon. So, okay. It's called yesterday. Just say yesterday. I don't know why it's saying Dagon. Just just say yesterday. Really. It's not that hard. In fact, actually I suppose it's not hard, but it's easier than yesterday. Like Dagon. Yesterday. Yesterday. That's 3 syllables. Dagon. That's 2. Technically, I'll give it to you on a technicality. Technically, Dagon is a little bit easier, but that's only when it comes to it meaning a day has passed, like a day referring to the day prior. But obviously, it actually refers to an eldritch god. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if I've read Dagon, Dagonian. Dagon. Or some say dagonsm. Do you hear our prayers, as you once did for the vacuous Rom? Grant us eyes, grant us eyes. Something like that. I want to play Bloodborne again. But like, you know, maybe it was updated. That'd be cool. Wouldn't that be wacky if Bloodborne was up to date? Very cool. Actually, idea. That's the wrong. That's the wrong button. That's okay. Well, that was the wrong button, but we can put that we can put that past us. And oh, actually, first, the most important part of the stream, because honestly, my initial talking point, bullshit. Who cares? The game part of the stream, bland. Who gives a shit? Games? No one cares about those anymore. There's no good AAA games. They're all made by executives who want to push the most profitable thing without making anything particularly risky. That's why all indie games are good. Most indie games are good. Most of the good games are indie games. I have no idea why I talked about that, but I'm going to segue horribly. Like that one dude who said, my segues. I don't know if this is real or not, but I think it might be. Like the dude who made segues was like, oh son, my segues. Also, remember that one time in like 2009 when segues were like the thing? And then they just stopped being the thing. Like this dude who made segues, like, oh yeah, these they break immediately, like break as in stop. They stop instantly when they need to. And to demonstrate, that's right, I'm gonna just drive close to the cliff at quite high speeds to show you how quickly I can brake. And he was right. He broke his bod. I think he died actually. Actually, shouldn't laugh, but I did. So I know, there's that. I did laugh. You know, I can't help it. Maybe he shouldn't have been so humorous, and I wouldn't have laughed. So think about that next time, segue man. Oh yeah, this was. I attempted to segue, but the segue turned into a tangent about segues. No, drink review. Currently, I'm drinking something high quality. That's right, squash. Yum. Flavor? Good. It's a good flavor. Oh, it's orange and pineapple. It's high tea orange and pineapple. You know, Tesco brand. Orange and pineapple. It's not. This ain't your daddy's squash. It's store brand, but like big, you know, big shop. It's not Lidl's. Assuming Lidl's. I think Lidl's does their own brands, maybe. But you know, it's of all like the non-real brand named things, I think like big chain things like Asda and Tesco, they're probably one of the best, I would assume. I'm gonna put it out there and say Asda and Tesco, they probably have one of the best non-brand named squashes. Not that I know why they're called squash. Why is it called squash anyway? Like squash, squish, squash, crushing. I suppose it's boom, pa, boom, pa. Okay, music. I suppose it could be because like they've squashed all of the juice into a very concentrated form. Maybe. I mean, that could be it. It could also be something completely different, but I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, you simply will be referring to squash as squash, and I will not tell you why because I don't know either. But first of all, I need to tell this really good sound director, fuck off, mate. Piss off, man. You fuck you. You are mento. Absolutely mento. I don't want you anywhere near me, man. So I can click load on Dagon, Days Gone, famous zombie game, Days Gone. Don't know if it's famous. Didn't actually hear anything about Days Gone like after it released. So might have been a colossal failure of a game. Who knows? Who knows? Not me. I never lost control. You're face to face with the man who sold the world. Good Bowie's. Oh. Holy, oh fuck. What the fuck? This is like actually scary? What? Whoa, I thought this wasn't supposed to be scary. This weird resolution. I specifically asked if this was scary. This sounds... I'm afraid because of the sound. Oh, controller. I could use the controller. I hate this. Why do they want to play horror games again? A spooky month. Let's put the gamma to like this so I can probably see a bit more. Turn the sound down a little bit, you know, not a coward or anything, just turn it down. I hate this. Yum yum, I hate this. Yeah, I think I might actually like get the controller. If it works, which apparently it does, it seems like the right thing to do. I hate this title screen because it seems scary. And I'm easily frightened. Worryingly easily frightened. So let me hit you with a brink. Oh my god. He's got a controller. Where the fuck did you get that? Did you steal it? If I was gonna steal anything with 60 fucking pound, it wouldn't be a controller. I'll tell you that for free. Well, it probably would. But no, if... I don't want controllers to be 60 pound. They are 60 pound. I think they are. At least, last time I checked, controllers were disgustingly expensive. Last time I checked. To be fair, I haven't checked a lot about the going rate of controllers. Wait, actually. Tracking's a bit wacky. Okay, I gotta fix the tracking, otherwise it'll bother me. I'm gonna hit you with one of these again. You're also gay, homosexual, gay. Ha 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 ha. Alright, bang. Okay, now should be good. Am I too nitpicky on my own shit? Maybe. But it's on my own shit, so I get to be nitpicky. I still feel like I'm facing a little bit down. That looks horrible. Oh well. Dagon. You know what? I'm just gonna look up how to pronounce that word. How Dagon pronunciation.
Dagon.
What? Dagon.
Dagon.
Really?
Dagon.
That sounds like a fucking lad who works on the farm. Oh, hello, Dagon. What are you doing? You know, and then fucking cows and like, you know, you gotta be make like you know, you lean the morning, otherwise you can't send them to the fucking market. Can you like? What is that pronunciation?
Dagon.
Dagon. Dagon. Okay, I guess we're pronouncing it Dagon. Dagon is a. Don't like that. Dagon is a faithful. It doesn't cheat, which is nice. Yeah, don't like cheaters. Dagon is a faithful interacting. Dagon is a faithful interacting. Please, I just want to pronounce it. Dagon is a faithful interactive adapt. Fuck. Okay. No. I'm doing it. Dagon is a faithful, interactive adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work, focused on story and atmosphere. You will not find difficult choices, action sequences, or inventory management here, and movement is limited to processing. Fuck. Progressing through locations along with the plot. Seems reasonable. Like, any of those above things shouldn't really be in a H.P. Lovecraft story, because they're all about... Lovecraft stories are all about taking shit away from people. Well, taking power away from people. Like, you know, you're insignificant in the grand scheme of things. You can't affect anything. You couldn't affect anything, even if you wanted.
I am writing this under an appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more.
Okay. Go off, King. Oh. During the game, you will encounter interactive elements. Some of them will allow you to continue your journey. Others will reveal interesting facts about the origin short story. Its historical background and the author. What's the historical background? Like, him being scared of everything, and author being just a little bit racist, teeny bit, you know. Not a gamer. He's not a gamer, but he's close. He plays board games. Well, you know, the only game he could play. Maybe that's why, you know, maybe he was a big board game player. The only one you could do. Some of the trivia is hidden. In order to find these secrets, focus your eyes and look for the elder sign. A fucking branch. A branch. You can also access all the found facts later. They will be available in the menu. I can't move?
Penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer.
Fucking
and shall
opium.
cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
Then you like... Can you get a gun? I feel like a gun would be better.
Do not think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate.
Are you sure? No offense. Are you sure?
When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death.
Either I've got to be a little bit, oop, forgot my keys, or die. It just, you know, you know, your son's on his way to school, he forgets his pencils. Sorry, son, I gotta kill you, because I don't want you to be forgetful, but you gotta be forgetful, or you gotta be dead, and I don't want you to be forgetful, so goodbye, goodbye. Put a 12 gauge on his forehead and be like, bye. IS ink. Ink.
It was in one of the
This-
most open and least frequented parts
This
of the
isn't
broad
my
Pacific
apartment.
that the packet of which I
That's
was
my
supercargo
wife.
fell a victim to the German sea raider.
Where's the falling bit? Alright. Fuck. Sounds this game.
The Great War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had
That's
not
like-
completely sunk to their later degradation.
Actually nice looking. German? E?
So that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
Isn't that like a decent amount? But I thought, isn't it? Aren't they like laws? I suppose there were laws for war, but I don't think many people followed them. Oh, stabby. Also, appreciate the voice acting. Thank you. I would.
So liberal,
Fuck it up.
indeed, was the discipline of our
Libka.
captors that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone in a small boat with water and provisions for a good length of time.
Wow, they weren't very good, were they? Oh, they're so good they just let you go. Water and also provisions. I love provisions.
When I finally found myself adrift and free, I had but little idea of my surroundings.
That's what the fuck. Why is the art direction in this game kind of good?
Never a competent navigator, I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator.
Yeah.
Of the longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
That's what, you know, that's what the sea be doing that, you know? Be vast and big. Hey, look, this moon. The moon?
The weather kept
That's the
fair,
mood.
and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly
Why?
beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
Why is this art direction good? Why does it look nice? Crisscross applesauce. I see your back. Not your true name. You don't have that yet. What am I looking for? Oh, look, I thought I thought that was a very short violin, but it was sunny.
But neither ship nor land appeared, and I
Sun.
began to despair in my solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue.
What is this point of view? Ah, I'm looking. Right, I'm looking up. Mm-hmm.
The change happened whilst I slept.
What do you mean they changed?
Its
Turn
details
into a
I shall
fucking
never
dog?
know.
What do you mean?
For my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
Oh! It's a fucking squid. I just got scared by a fucking squid. Fuck you. It's not Halloween. Fucking squid,
When at
bitch.
last
Go and
I
play
awoke,
Splatoon.
It was to discover
Ugly.
myself half sucked into a slimy
Suck.
expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see.
I understood about like 10 of those words. Monotonous undulations. Monotonous is like boring. Undulations, couldn't tell you.
And in which my boat lay grounded some distance away.
It sure did.
Though one might well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery,
Why would
I was in reality more horrified
no
than
one
astonished.
no one would assume that you would be like wow about this? You're surrounded by what looks like carcasses of dead squids. And a shell? Bloodborne shell? With the woman that comes out of it? That falls from the top. Remake Bloodborne.
For there was in the air and in the rotting soil
Rotting
a sinister
soil.
quality which chilled me to the very core. The
Yeah.
region was putrid
Whoa.
with the carcasses of decaying fish.
Oh, you
and
were
of
sitting
other,
down. I
less
thought this was just a
describable
big
things
squid.
which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain.
I mean, I agree this is disgusting looking. But I wouldn't say they're less describable. It's just not nice. Like they're just shells and squids, really.
Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity.
Wait, that's not the sea. That's a. We're surrounded by. Oh god.
There was nothing within and nothing in sight save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the
Put a fucking
stillness and the
jacket on it, put your
homogeneity of the
jumper on.
landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear.
Homogeny. Look, I told you the weather to be bad today. I told you to take a jacket for school. You said, no, I don't want a jacket, don't want a jacket. I have to carry all day. You could put it in your bloody locker. But I said, no, and now look at you. You're bloody soaking. You've got to go take a shower. I have to wash your bloody clothes for tomorrow at school now. It's Friday tomorrow as well.
The
You
sun
got
was
PE.
blazing down from a sky which
Really?
seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
But. Oh. Steppy. Big step.
As I crawled into the stranded boat, I realized that only one theory could explain my position.
I'm all ears for this theory.
Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval,
I
a
mean-
portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden. Under
That's an
unfathomable
insanely
watery
like
depths.
reasonable assumption. What
So
the
great
fuck?
was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might. Nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
That's big. Oh. Volcanic eruptions sometimes result in the creation of islands. Most of them are transient and erode after some time, but some prove permanent. Floating. What did you just call me? Pumice? Floating pumice. Okay. Floating pumice. Porous rock created when superheated pressurized rock is ejected from a volcano can move across long distances and transport barnacles and macroalgae macroalgae? I don't know. That cling to it. In 2001, rafts of pumice created during the eruption of a volcano near Tonga, Polynesia, Eventually reached Australia. Dude, that sucked. That takes you right out of the game. That's not even like to do with the game. That's just a fact. Like, here's a fun fact about
which lay
volcanoes.
upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens.
It still looks horrendous, but it looks slightly less horrendous
As
now.
the day progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for travelling purposes in a short time.
Banging.
That night I slept
Oh.
but little, and the next day I made for myself a pack containing food and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search of the vanished sea and possible rescue.
Well, I hope you find, well, what sea?
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease. The odor of the fish was maddening,
look-
but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
Looks like you're gonna be, I don't know, walking a slight Sahara desert. Also, this doesn't, you're gonna walk through the squid! Okay, just walk, yeah, just fucking walk through the
All day I forged steadily westward,
Squid,
guided
okay.
by a faraway hummock which rose higher than any other elevation on the
I don't know
rolling
what a
desert.
hammock is, to be honest, sorry. I appreciate though. Hammock is mountain. Just say mountain, just say mountain. Oh, okay. Will. Will.
That night I encamped, and on the following day still
Yeah?
travelled toward the hummock,
You-
though that object
you
seemed
chose-
scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
That's worrying.
By the fourth evening, I attained the base of the mound, which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance.
Yeah, this is ominous.
An intervening valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface. Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill.
In the shadow of
I know
Innsmouth.
not why my dreams were so wild that night. But ere the waning and fantastically gibbous moon had risen far above the eastern plain,
Fantastically give us.
I was awake in a
Whoa.
cold perspiration, determined to sleep no
Just say cold sweat, it's not that hard. I was awake in a cold perspiration. Just say you were sweating, son. Just say you were sweating and we'll all understand it, okay? Just say you were sweating and I'll be like, Naruhodo. What could I understand? Okay, you know, I get it. I mean, I get perspiration. It just seems a bit redundant to say such a large word. Big word, smart, books.
Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again,
So I just didn't fucking
and
sleep.
in the glow of the moon I saw how unwise I had been to travel by day. Without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy.
This seems near impossible to climb.
Indeed, I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset. Picking up my pack, I started for the crest of the eminence.
Eminence. These are words. I don't know these words. What's actually gonna Google what the fuck a crest? Alright, book back. I thought I
have
had to
said
look
that
for a
the unbroken
crest of an
monotony
eminence.
The rolling plain was a source of vague horror to me. But
You
I
did?
think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon,
Oh.
whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine. I felt myself on the edge of the world,
No, you're gonna prove them right. No, we're trying to keep the flat earthers.
peering over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night.
Chaos, chaos.
Through my terror ran curious reminiscences of Paradise Lost.
Sorry, sorry. What do you mean? I don't get that reference. Can you reference another piece of?
And of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms
I
of
don't know what he has to do
darkness.
anything really.
As the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had imagined.
Perpendicular. Lines that never meet.
Ledges and outcroppings of rock afforded fairly easy footholds for a descent. Whilst after a drop of only a few hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual.
Declivity. This is becoming less scary and more confused. I just don't know what these words mean. But fucking go down, why not? Surely don't go around the massive mountain and go.
Urged on by an impulse which I cannot definitely analyze, I scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and stood on the gentler slope beneath.
Oh god.
Gazing into the Stygian deeps, where no light had yet penetrated. All at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of me.
Pillar.
An object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
Or some say cosm. Do you hear? How many Bloodborne references can I make this stream?
It was merely a gigantic piece of stone, I soon assured myself.
It does look like a one.
But I was conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position were not altogether the work of nature. A closer scrutiny filled me with sensations I cannot express.
I will.
For despite its enormous magnitude,
scrutinize away,
its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped
That's the word monolith. Pillar.
Whose massive bulk had known the workmanship and perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures.
Look at my fucking massive bulk, man. Have you seen my massive bulk?
Yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight, I examined my surroundings more closely.
I got scared by a fucking footprint. Oh.
Now near the zenith, shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm.
Markings.
And revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions, and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope.
I need to joke,
Across
otherwise
the
I'll
chasm,
just be terrified.
Wavelets washed the base of the
Wavelets.
Cyclopean monolith,
Manlets,
on whose surface I
wavelets,
could
you
now
know.
trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures.
You know, they're required for, manlets need wavelets to learn how to swim. Otherwise, you just can't, they just can't do it. They're stuck, really. Read the... Really can't
The
read
writing was in a system of hieroglyphics unknown to me, and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books.
So, very detailed hieroglyphics. That's just a picture of a shark. There's no hieroglyphic here, I'd say. It's just a shark there. That is simply a shark.
Consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels, octopi, crustaceans, mollusks, whales, and the like. Several characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world.
I mean, one of them.
But whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain. It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound.
I feel like I'd be affected by this writing a little bit more if I understood it. I'll give you one more chance. What does it say? It just breaks the fourth wall and takes you out of the fucking game. That's what it does. Dagon contains many themes and storytelling methods that Lovecraft developed in his later works, such as telling the story through carvings at the Mountain of Madness, the Nameless City, journals, and characters' notes, Shadow Out of Time, the Hunter of the Dark, Islands Emerging from the Ocean, Call of Cthulhu, or fictional beings and deities based on real events and mythologies, Migo and the Whisper of Darkness. It's also considered the origin of popular Cthulhu mythos. Wow, really? Some of Lovecraft's other stories also conclude in a manner similar to Dagon. But let's skip the details, not spoil the ending. I'm never fucking clicking on these. They just take you out of the story. Why would you do that?
The intervening water, on account of their enormous size, were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a doré.
What the fuck are you saying? What are you saying? Were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a doré. What does that mean? I just don't get. I just don't understand.
These things were supposed to depict men, at least a certain sort of men. Though the creatures were shown disporting like fishes in the waters of some marine grotto, or paying homage at some monolithic shrine, which appeared to be under the waves as well.
Ooh, I don't like that one at the bottom. I hope those are eyes.
Of their faces and forms I dare not speak in detail, for the mere remembrance makes me grow faint. Grotesque beyond the imagination of a Poe or a Bulwer.
Oh.
They were damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips.
Okay, the flabby part, it hit me in the funny bone.
Glassy, bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall. Curiously
these faces
enough,
are actually
they
kind of
seem to
scary.
have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background. For one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself. I remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size, but in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe. Some tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the first ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was born.
You seem like an individual of science, my friend.
Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist, I stood musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me.
You know, this is a very open community. I accept all types of reflections. Any orientation of reflection is completely allowed here. I love all reflections.
Then, suddenly, I saw it.
I don't want to see it.
With only a slight churning to mark its rise to the surface, the thing slid into view above the dark waters. It darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith. About which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds.
Faint, just faint. I don't want to see it. Faint right now.
Mad then. Of my frantic ascent of the sloping cliff, and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat, I remember little. I believe I sang a great deal, and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing.
Just go. Simply move. Run. Oh, no.
I have indistinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat. At any rate, I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wildest moods.
I hate it. Actually, okay, it's scary. I hate it. Just flip the boat over, like bottom facing up, and just hide underneath it.
When I came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital.
Damn, you know what they say? Out of the frying pan into the fire.
Brought thither by the captain of the American ship which
Thither?
had picked
What
up
the
my
fuck?
boat in mid-ocean.
Are you just making these up?
In my delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention.
I fucking nutter this time.
Of any land upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing.
You're not gonna voice that one, are you? You've got the Force, you're the fucking Jedi.
Once I sought out a celebrated ethnologist
A what?
and amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
Right. No, I don't care. How dare you put that in front of me? But like, I might. Yeah, I'm just okay. I have to look at you. Man, you tall.
But soon perceiving that he was
Necronomicon.
hopelessly
The
conventional,
Mabinogion.
I did not press my inquiries.
He was normal. Shut up. I'm gonna assume you're not like the Grudge, whatever you're like the girl from The Ring, no, whatever. You know, the girl who can turn her head 360. I assume that's not who you are. You just turned your entire body. Just like walking around the room, but what the fuck? Just leave if you want to leave. Why you gotta do this zigzag?
It is at night, especially when the moon is gibbous and waning, that I see the thing.
I don't want to see it. I'm gonna close my eyes.
I tried morphine,
Okay. Didn't scare me then. I'm gonna try it again.
but the drug has given only transient surcease, and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless slave.
Okay. Close.
So now, I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men. Often, I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm, a mere freak of fever, as I lay sun-stricken and
I wouldn't be
raving in the
surprised.
open
I would
boat after my
been
escape
the
from
first
the German man
diagnosis.
of war. This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision in reply.
This is gonna be one of those close your eyes.
I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering
No?
at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed, worshipping their ancient stone idols and carving their own detestable likenesses on submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite. I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind. Of a day when the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium. The end is near.
No. Turning the sound down. Sound go down. The sound goes down.
I hear a noise at the door, as of some immense slippery body lumbering against it.
I've read this. Have I read this? Where he goes, there, out the window, and then the rest of the page is gone. What is this? What is this? What do you want me to do with this? You're not going to open it.
It shall not find me.
It looks like it has, son.
that hand. The window! The window!
Wow. This was good. This is probably one of the better or best. My heart's still currently racing. One of the better or best Lovecraft games. Because at no point was I like, hey, oh, there's a monster, let's dodge it. And I saw a monster, the monster didn't see me, and I just went nuts. It's good. That's what I gotta say about this. This is a good one. I don't like it. I don't like horror games. I'm never playing this game. 0 out of 10, don't play it. Especially don't play these 2 other DLCs that if you enjoyed this one, I would highly recommend if I liked horror games. But I don't. So I don't recommend it. Not a speck of me recommends it. Song. This? No. This? This? Well, it's gonna loop this. Sure. Whew. Okay, that's over. Wow. Okay, yeah, no, that's don't like it. It's scary. He stinks, and I don't like him. Seriously, I don't like that. I am definitely reconsidering my opinion on doing Spooky Month. Because I didn't like being scared. I don't like being scared. Don't understand why people like being scared. Hate it. Wow, hate that. Hate. H-A-T, hate. Bloody ate it. Ate it. Horrible. But the game was good. The game was good. Set up atmosphere incredibly well. It technically didn't have jump scares. I'm just a little bitch. And that's it, really. 41 minutes for this is free, by the way. This game's free as fuck. So, you know, if you're looking for a game like this, but you're willing to pay for it, obviously, because if you watch this playthrough and you've seen the game, so, you know. But if you want like a paid version, they've got DLC, which I assume are like entire stories. I mean, why wouldn't they be? If they're gonna put an entire game for free, I imagine that the paid was probably gonna be another story. Maybe. Perhaps. But God, that was good. Good, this is strong. That's very something. It's something. Wait, only 50%? Oh, maybe it's free, so okay. I was gonna say only 50% of people have like beat the game achievement, but then it's free, so obviously I imagine 50% of people who downloaded the game haven't played it yet. Okay, 40 minutes. Don't take it that long. Just play it, dude. Glad I didn't play it on my own because I'd be sucked into the mood myself, and I don't want that. Because I was already sucked into the mood a decent amount, and I was terrified by it. So, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that to me. I don't know how these type of games have melded with me though, because it leaves me with very little room to put banter in, because the game's trying to establish an atmosphere. So I've got to choose when to make a joke or do a bit. And basically there's no time for bits, because bits are extended joke. Yeah. Extended joke. Jokes are, you know, bits are just extended long sentence to jokes. So there's not much room for me to do much with it. But if you came purely to witness me being scared and not me saying things, then this is perfect for you. So yeah, Metroid. Okay, next stream will be Metroid. It should be Metroid unless an EMP goes off and destroys my Switch. But as long as that doesn't happen, next stream should be the new Metroid Dread. And I'm looking forward, backwards, side to side, up and down for that. Because it's a new fucking Metroid game. I'm so excited. Because, you know me, I have never played Metroid before. Because I had like a Nintendo 6, no I didn't. I had a Super Nintendo. And then I had that for like years. And then I had like a PlayStation 5. No, I mean, PlayStation 3? Yeah, 3. So my ability to play those games wasn't too existent. I didn't know anyway what I could possibly sell them. And I was like 5. I only got a PlayStation around like 9. So, you know, couldn't exactly get games as a 5-year-old. Yeah, next stream will be Metroid Dread. And I will be very, probably, you know, okay at it. But until said Metroid Dread, good night, nosta, oyasumi, buenos noches, and all the good night phrases. Night, 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 night.